In this lesson, we're talking about seasonality, link hubs, multiple linking, and nofollow. Another interesting aspect of internal linking is how to deal with seasonality. This is particularly true for e-commerce, say if you sell products around Christmas. This category is really special. During the year, there's almost no search demand for anything Christmas related or Christmas products. But you can't just delete it from your internal linking because of all the factors that Google has stored for that URL, and you would eventually lose that. You need a mechanism that somehow allows you to move this category into the domain, keeping it linked from secondary or even third level pages or categories. Then when the season comes back, say like 3 to 4 months prior, you increase your internal linking efforts to the category page again. Maybe also linking it from the homepage, as well as adding additional cross-links throughout the domain. The same is true for product launches. When you know that, say, a new iPhone is going to be released, it will not be enough to just launch a category page or a product page 1 or 2 weeks just beforehand. You need to create that page very early on and make sure it has all the internal links it needs to be as strong as possible. Contextual relevance in semantically linking at a product level is also a big help. If you have one product of a series, say make a link from item 1 in that series to the items 2, 3, and 4. But you could go even further, say if you are selling women's shoes, you can then cross-link them with matching dresses. You know, hard to get this right on a large scale, but helpful for users and search engine crawlers alike. Another very powerful approach that helps with internal linking is using what we call link hubs. Link hubs are subpages on a domain that contain a good amount of qualitative inbound external links. First, you have to identify which pages are the ones that have the most external inbound links. Then you take those URLs and add additional internal links, for example, by just simply implementing an additional element on your template only to be used for that specific site. Since they're linked heavily, Google will crawl them more frequently. Pages linked from those link hubs will therefore be found and indexed way quicker. Another common problem to watch out for is multiple linking to the same page or the same URL. If you have an URL and that URL is linking twice to another one, and the difference is only the anchor text, Google will only count the first anchor text being used. For example, you have a gallery of Job's men's shoes, and this gallery is linked from the main navigation using something like Job's men's shoes as the anchor text. Then you also have another link somewhere further down the page that says something like, buy cheap Job fashionable men's shoes. This link and its anchor text are being discounted. So Google will only take the first one, Job's men's shoes, as the main targeting keyword and rank this destination page accordingly. You'd be missing on keywords such as buy or fashionable in that case. You should generally make sure that you have as few redundant links as possible. They are literally kind of those black holes. Also in this case, please do not use the link rel nofollow for the first link to try telling Google that it's supposed to use only the second one. This is not going to work. Google still will only take the first one. Internally, no-following links is a pretty bad idea. Do not rely on nofollow. Instead, make sure that you just control your links properly and make sure that you have only the ones that you really need. Internally, no-following literally means I do not trust my own links. So what do you think Google is going to do with that? It's clearly not a good sign if you do not trust your own links. Now, some people might argue that you can just use JavaScript to hide those links for Googlebot and only show them to your users. But nowadays, Google is getting better and smarter. So if your internal linking is built on top of hiding things for Google, for example, by using JavaScript, that clearly is not the right approach. Don't do it. To make sure you don't use nofollow on your internal links unintentionally, you might want to refer to the nofollow attributes in the outgoing internal links check from the SEMrush internal linking report, which I already mentioned in one of my previous lessons.